Today, we got one of my favorite people, Mr. Sho Baraka. Hey, yo, what's going on? It's Ruslan with King'sDreamENT.com. This channel exists to encourage, empower, inspire you to live out God's dream. Gotta send a big shout out to all our Patreon supporters who've been holding down this channel. Thank you so much. This channel exists to help people in pursuit of their God-given walk. And so on that, we cover all kinds of different topics, all kinds of interesting people. And today, we got one of my favorite people. I've known this brother for over 10 years. Man, one of the dopest dudes in the CHH community touched the mic, and he's gone beyond that. And I'm excited for you guys to hear his story. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sho Baraka. How you feeling, man?
I'm doing good.
People have been asking for this interview, by the way.
Oh, the 5 people that love me?
No, a handful of people. I'll put up stuff like on the YouTube tabs, the community page, and people ask for Sho Baraka.
Well, God bless those folks, man. And before we get started, I want to say that I really appreciate you. I like you, I love you, and I appreciate what you've been.
You like and you love me?
Well, I like you. I love you, too. I probably should have said I love you. I love you, man. And I love what you do for the community.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You are underappreciated, my man.
I appreciate that. I appreciate because you were one of the early people to start curating with your blog and that podcast early on. We can talk about the new podcast that you're doing. So I feel like you were kind of ahead of your time with a lot of stuff that we've seen happen in CHH. We'll see how much you want to unpack of that. But so I appreciate you, man. I think you've been an influencer from behind the scenes for a long time. Me and you met through DJ Wado. I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember. Yep, you know what? I do, because he would do a lot of your mixtape stuff.
It's before that.
It was before that?
This is 2008, 2009. It's before me and DJ Wado ever did anything.
Okay. I do remember, like, every time we would go to San Diego, he would just kicking it with you.
Yeah.
And driving around with you.
Yeah.
And it'd be me and Official.
It'd be you and Official.
And we would just hang with you guys.
And I'd play my Christian rap subliminal diss tracks.
Exactly.
Aimed at some artists that are going to be unnamed at this point.
Yeah. One joint that was, it was to DNA, not DNA. Was it DNA?
No, DNA.
Not DNA. What's the joint Jay-Z did with
Oh yeah, Auto-Tune. Death of Auto-Tune.
Death of Auto-Tune. Yeah. So yeah.
that was like 08, 09.
Yeah, okay.
That was like 08, 09.
I will say this, man, like I don't think people know that you guys, you know, in particular, were trailblazers as well. Like you probably didn't handle it in a way that you probably should have, but I think you were asking questions and thinking things that a lot of people are now some folks don't even wrestle with. Like it's their philosophy and their ideology.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But it was just such a different time in Christian hip hop.
Absolutely.
It was so different. You got your start and you went to UNT, right?
One of the colleges I went to, yes, University of North Texas.
There was a couple colleges.
Yeah, I went to Tuskegee first, Tuskegee University.
Okay. You're originally from San Bernardino, California, though.
I am so, sir. Yes.
People don't know that about you.
They don't.
You be so proud to rep that one when you get around Cali people.
I do. Look, I shout it out on my album. I talk about the Inland Empire. I say IE all the time. I'm not a...
You don't shy away from it.
So, shout out to Ahmad and, 4th Avenue Jones. But when I was... 4th
Avenue Jones, I'm trying to get him on this, by the way. We've been
Word. Well, let me tell you a story. So when we was I was like maybe in junior high. And Ahmad is... Word on the street is that he's from like Moreno Valley. He's from the Inland Empire. But he claims Los Angeles.
Yeah, he claims South Central. I've never heard this before.
And so, apparently...
We're going to get him to set the record straight.
Yeah, so apparently... he came to perform either in San Bernardino or Moreno Valley, one of those cities, and everybody booed him and like threw his records and like CDs at him because he always claimed Los Angeles, and folks was like, "You from the IE, bro? Like represent the IE." And so from that moment, I realized I gotta rep the IE. I gotta represent where I'm from.
Well, the IE is lit now because everybody from LA can't really afford to live in LA because of gentrification. So a lot of cats is moving to LA.
Yeah, folks live in the desert now. Like I never knew black folks to live in the desert, and now you talk about Apple Valley, all that. It's just like
Yeah.
When I was in school, when we would play Apple Valley, Victorville, and all those folks, it would be like a bunch of Negroes versus white people. And you, now you go out there, it's hard to find a white person. You'd be like, where the white folk?
So you're originally from San Bernardino, went to Tuskegee University, and then you were at UNC.
Yeah.
And those were the formative years, I guess, of 116 and Reach Records. What was that like that early on? Because I ended up doing a show at UNT like a decade later or something crazy. And it didn't seem like there was really anything happening, but it seemed like y'all really came out of that built like a cool brotherhood.
We had a very unique, so it's funny you're wearing a shirt, Outlier. When you read the book Outlier, one of the things that you learn is that there's this nexus of hard work and opportunity and kind of like providence, right?
Yeah.
And for us, there were these individuals like myself, Lecrae, Tadashi, who were students there, who were gifted in some form of like musical expression,
right.
And there were other folks too, and we were working hard. But the providential thing that happened was Cross Movement had a pretty good relationship with my brother, my brother led a Bible study at the University of North Texas, a school which he graduated years before us, and he was in seminary, and Ambassador was in seminary at Dallas Theological Seminary as well.
Whoa, okay.
And so he was like, yo, I got these I got my brother and his friends. They love Jesus, bro, and they want to rap.
Hey.
Can you mentor them?
Hey.
And he was like, dude, I'll think about it. And so anyway, he would come and teach at our retreats. Him and Eric Mason. Shout out to Eric Mason. And so we just built a really dope relationship with him. The other interesting relationship was Trip Lee. So Trip Lee was like best friends, and I'm putting everybody's information out there. I don't care.
They all gonna come on here.
Right. Trip Lee was best friends with Kirk Franklin's son.
Really?
Yeah. And
so
we had a concert with The Truth, and it was just me, Tadashi, and Lecrae opening up for The Truth. And The Truth and Kirk had a really cool relationship. So backstage was, The Truth, Kirk Franklin, and these two young kids, and it would happen to be Trip and and Kirk's son.
Whoa.
And when we performed, Trip was like, I like y'all, man, y'all cool. I like what y'all doing. And so he was like, well, look, man, let's get up. And him and Lecrae just hit it off. And from there,
who would have thought that?
Kirk,
I didn't know that.
So now
That's
you got
crazy.
Kirk kind of like knowing about us a little bit.
Yeah.
Truth, is connected to us in a little way. Then you got the Ambassador, and all the, and so there was this natural path towards kind of mentorship and opportunity.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So Lecrae then subsequently ends up putting out
Real Talk. Then Tadashi puts out Kingdom People. Then we do a compilation album.
Yeah, but Lecrae put out Real Talk on Cross Movement Records.
Nah, it was first.
Oh no, that was indie. Okay,
it was indie first. It was indie.
Okay. And then y'all did.
And then we did Tadashi, and then we did a compilation album. That was the first time that
Was that the one about like the 13 books of the Bible?
No. That was just called 116 compilation.
Okay.
It was just like all the Lecrae was really adamant about trying to get all his homeboys to be on. Like, and once he was like, man, I really want to start a label. I was like, man, I don't really want to, because I was focused on film and television. I studied film and television, so I was like, I'm trying to get these music videos popping. Trying to be Spike Lee out this month. And so eventually they were like, well, just do 2 songs in this compilation. So I did the 2 songs, and then eventually Trip came around and he signed with the label, did an album, and then comes like the 13 Letters, and then eventually like 3-4 years later, I was like, all right, I'll do an album, and that was like 2007-8.
And there was a record. There was something they did with Cross Movement, which kind of elevated their platform. Right?
So before I signed, actually, Lecrae, before his second album, I think by his second album he had signed with Cross Movement. And for those folks who don't know, you need to know Cross Movement. Cross Movement was like they are the fathers of kind of like the very orthodox Christian hip hop movement, if you will. Theologically didactic, Christ-centered Christian hip hop movement. They are they are kind of like the progenitors of that side, and obviously there were people before them, but they were the figureheads. And so
they also took that, but took it to a level of commerce and industry.
Like nobody else before had, and they were, man, and they really were. They were open. They were welcoming to us, and what they did is they signed a deal with Lecrae, and so I think his second album, and y'all can do the research. I think his second album was with the label, but he also
after the music stops.
Yeah, After Music Stop was with Cross Movement, and he also picked up Real Talk as well.
Okay.
So they re-released Real Talk.
Okay.
But everybody else was still with Reach. But this is what really benefited though. He started touring. Like they start touring with Reach Records. He would open up with Reach.
With Cross Movement Records, you mean?
I mean, yeah, he started touring with Cross Movement, and then other artists from Reach start touring with Cross Movement, and that kind of opened up the opportunity. Something crazy.
So then they're building Reach. You finally give in. You do the record with them. What was that first record called? I don't remember.
Stop disrespecting me. Stop disrespecting me.
I was really into lines like
Lions and Liars.
Lions and Liars. I was into that.
Yeah, Turn My Life Up was the first one.
Turn My Life Up. That's what.
Turn My Life Up was the first one. Yeah.
And that record really, I was with What Up RG earlier, and he was like, Sho Baraka was the first Reach artist that I listened to. He was like,
let's go.
I heard.
He's a good dude. I like him.
He's a good kid.
We met the other day, like just bumped into each other, and he was like, "Man, I'm really nervous talking to you." I was like, "What? Really?" It was just, I don't know. I don't see myself like that. But
that
he's
Turned
good
My Life
people.
Up. I remember the artwork being dope on that. I remember like that just was a
that
was a dope joint.
Yeah.